Oh my freaking god, dude. I'm gonna recording this. The problem with Soul Calibur, we're literally going to, I'm gonna show you in like a 20-minute video the issue with why no one plays this game anymore, why it's kind of dying, and why it's probably not gonna go to 7th one. I'd be very surprised if it did. But you'll see it, this is Legendary AI, right? Very difficult. Reversal Edge. There's one Reversal Edge. Just count how many times they use this mechanic in the game. Instead of encouraging people to learn the game and put modes that help people learn, they instead put really stupid ass mechanics that no one asked for. Ooh, that was a good GI. That was a good GI. I could take the loss for that, and that was good. She always had me ahead on her. Oh. See how Reversal Edge is? It's just a fucking failsafe. Why not make that into a move that you can do? Like do right in a square, or right? Yeah, do right square. That's not hard. You could easily program that into a move. Oh, I did a really low priority move. I ducked. And I lost because of... I'm trying to focus on proving a point. I'm just going to play the match. Damn it. It's like you can't... Damn it, it's not what I meant to do. That's so stupid. Why am I being punished for using my tactics against my opponent? I fucked up. Damn it, I fucked up. That was just because the AI was able to be better. I'm gonna rematch. Like now that I'm recording, of course the AI is not gonna do it. It's probably because if you get too aggressive, the AI starts to really rely on Reversal Edge. So I'm gonna get like really aggressive. See what happens. That's not what I meant to do. Okay, that's round 1. Now I'm being serious. Oh, she eyed me, but I was able to counter her. Stop reversal edging. Stop reversal edging. See how many times she's already reversal edged too? That's her 3rd time. Like, it's like, that's what they coded. The AI gets overwhelmed and doesn't know what to do. It starts reversal edging. Okay, that's 5 times. I'm literally proving my point right now. Like, oh, I don't know how to predict this person's behavior. So I'm gonna reversal edge. Ooh, that was a good grab. That was good. Like, see, why can't the AI just learn from what you're doing and counter you? Why does it have to use that stupid mechanic? You know? Now, that was a good way to win. I'm okay with that. Okay, that should have hit, but whatever. Yeah, that was good. that was stupid. Tira's actually kind of annoying to fight. I didn't mean to do that! God damn it! Ugh. This is gonna cost me the match because I fucking used the wrong move. I meant to do Critical Edge R2 and the game registered my move as a soul charge. Fucking shit, dude. That sucks. She's just gonna keep... Enough. Get off my stage, you freaking bitch. God, 5 freaking times. It's so infuriating. This is I think a big reason why people didn't play Soul Cal and why they were just like, okay, I'm done with this stupid fucking game. Because it's like, if you just want to win, spam that shit out of Reversal Edge and learn the timing of everything, and you can just keep winning. It's like, it's not an encouraging mechanic, and they're like, oh, it does use your guard gauge, but it nowhere near punishes you enough. You can abuse the living shit out of it before it actually breaks your guard. Like, it's ridiculous. I got guard broke by regular attacks before someone got broken with by abusing Reversal Edge. It needs to be like a 3-second hold, and that's it. And then you're red. That is it. It should not be a mechanic that's that easy to abuse. And I think that is a huge reason why people really freaking were like, yeah, no, we're not playing this game anymore. There's always going to be those fans, and I love Soul Cal. I still think it's a great game, but I acknowledge the game has flaws. It's not perfect. Every fighter is not perfect. You know, there's no such thing as a perfect fighting game. If there was, people would be playing that all day. But it's still fun. Like, when the game works, it feels so good. Like, when you're in the heat of the battle and things are happening, it feels really good. I get why they did Reversal Edge. I just think it should have been an AoE ability, and you can only hold it for 3 seconds before your guard gauge turns red. 2 more strong hits, you're guard broken. That's really what needs to happen for Soul Cal to be friendly enough for people to play it. It's like, okay, this thing's here to help you learn, but it's not a mechanic for you to rely on. You know? I wish they would just update it. I wish they really would, but they're not going to. You know? So we kind of have to stick with what we've got. That was a dumb move on my part. Again, keeps doing it. Like, how many times are you going to use this mechanic? And understand it's not going to work. Like, I hate to go on a rant, but, like... I wish more people would play Soul Cal, but I guarantee you this is a huge reason why people don't. Because if they're like me and they think like me, they're like, oh, whoa! Once you figure out the game and you learn a character that you like, and you play it, and you're like, oh, this is so cool. And then, bing, 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 bing. It takes you out of the freaking... It takes you out of the fight. It always takes me out of the fight. I'm like, ugh. And I was doing so good. Like, all that Bandai would have had to have done is... There's already a lot of good defensive options in the game that are fair. Soul Charge. If you have the gauge, you can Soul Charge, and you can push the opponent back, giving you breathing room, and also giving you a little extra frames on some moves. There's also Guard Impact. If you time it right, you can get an advantage. You just have to be careful. There's also Break Attacks, which go through Guard Impacts. And then there's perfect Guard Breaks and Guard Impacts. If you time it perfectly and use a bit of your Soul Gauge, it knocks your opponent back about 2 frames, and it gives you about a second of an opening, so you can get a combo in for free if you're good. So there's tons of options to actually defend against people's onslaughts. It's just people don't want to take the time to learn. They just want a stupid fucking button. It's like, take the time to learn. There's a really good training thing in here. Like, I will show you. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I'll just go out of it. Like, the reason why I beat Nightmare is because I used what he was doing against me against him. Like, go to your training. I'll show you how to do it. It's really fucking simple. A monkey can do it. Let's say you like playing Grow. Grow's a fun character. Where's Grow at? Where the hell is Grow? Oh, it's right there. Damn, I'm an idiot. I'm gonna play Mexigrow, because why not? Right? And we're going up against Ashroth, right? Ashroth's a big brute character. He's got a lot of grabs. And you're just like, oh, what do I do to get out of those grabs? What can I do against Ashroth? What is Grow good with? What's he not good with? The game will literally tell you. You press start, you go to combat lessons, you go to Grow. Grow. Fighting style. It's a double-edged blah 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 blah. That doesn't matter. It's just talking about beginner. Advantage at mid-range. You have a mid-range advantage. Use Surge Launch Charge with AA, B, B. If you don't know what that is, B, A. I wish they did vertical, horizontal. I wish it was like horizontal. No, A was horizontal, B was vertical, because that would make more sense. But practice your combos. Grow has stances. He can actually fake into a lot of his stances like that. So you do. So that's just forward, square, and triangle, or X and Y. That's a good move. Or you could just do square. Does that. Triangle. Mix your buttons up. See what works. That's a stance. B and K. B and K again. That's your break attack. If you do B and K and A or square, it does that. Do B and K and triangle does that. You need to figure out what you can do, what you can't do. That's the whole point of any fighting game. Like, there's also, Grow has a move. Like, Grow has a lot of good options, but he's not perfect. No character is perfect at everything. He has weaknesses. You gotta figure it out. You know? And if you want to do a move, you can do a move. It'll show you how to do the move. Sir Lancelot's Fervor. Oh, okay, I'll do that. I just did it. Wow. You see how easy that is? And it lets you know if you're doing it right or not. Oh, okay. Oh, I just did the same thing. Awesome. So it's very simple. You know? Reversal edge attacks, which I hate reversal edge. They need to get rid of it. I think it's just a system that's too overpowered. Like, let's see how many times I can use reversal edge before I start turning red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so 4 or 5 times. That's a lot. Like in this game, that's a lot. And then let's just have, oh, and you can just have Ashroth move. So action 1, continue action 1. I'll have him attack. Right? Look at this. Let's see how long it takes. Like, I mean, I can't move, so eventually it will initiate. The fact that nothing happens is ridiculous. Like, okay, here's... So this is like a real situation. This is reversal edge. So how long is that? Let's see how long this is. 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6, 1,000, 7, 1,000, 8, 1,000. 8 seconds? 8 fucking seconds? And I'm still able to do it. Like, how is this not broken? I'm just saying. How is that not broken? You know? There's no punishment. There's none. And I get an auto GI if I'm too far away. There's literally no non-incentive to not use it. You know? I mean, yeah, you can counter it by dodging it or by, but still. there's no downside. Like, it needs to burn through meter, even if it hits. Like, I think it's just not burning through meter when it hits, which is ridiculous. That's totally ridiculous. Like, that's stupid. Okay, so it looks like it's somewhat effective against vertical attacks. But you just do that, like, you know? Like, how does that help? You know? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I just don't think they thought it through. You know? It's too broken. It's too easy to abuse. And I don't think let's make sure, right? Maybe I have the wrong settings on. Right? Okay, we'll just do like a normal battle. Normal. Okay, it's all normal. I just want to see what happens. It cuts through reversal edge, which is fine.
You shall not leave alive. I shall succeed. You will be erased.
I mean, it's just too easily abused, you know?
As reported, you shall be destroyed.
Yeah, as I had it set to 100%. Maybe I should do infinite health so it doesn't... Yeah, infinite health, because that really won't matter. Always max. I want to see if it will ever go red. I'm genuinely curious. Oops, that was an accident. Let's have him, because I want to see, because it shouldn't matter which way he does the attack. Look how long of a range that is, too. Like, really? Oh, and I break his guard. I'm still not seeing my meter turn red. I'm wondering when this is gonna happen. You know, give it 5 more minutes. I broke his guard again. How's that fair? Okay, one more. If I don't see anything turn red, then as long as you hit it, you're always going to get something out of it. Yeah, no, after that, it should be going red. You shouldn't be relying on this. See, I wish it just did that. I wish it just made it so it just reset frames. Like, I don't know. I just don't think that's a good way to teach new players. You know? That's my 2 cents, man. But I don't freaking know. I just think that's a little ridiculous. Like, the reversal edge needs to be changed. I hope that if Bondi actually is making a 7th game, they just... It's fine if they keep the mechanic in, but it needs to be something that's a little more balanced. If it's going to give you soul charge, it needs to take away your defenses if you're going to abuse it. It's a huge problem. You know, people abuse it so much. Actually, non-professionals abuse it. Professional players, you never see them use it because it's so easy to counter. You know? It's just one of those mechanics where I wish you could turn on or off, really. But, yeah, I mean, I could do a guide. It's a good game. I still like Soul Cal, but I just think that really holds it back. Like, one of the funnest characters in this game is Raphael. Like, he's so cool. Because if you time his feints... Oops, that's Maxie, I'm an idiot. Oh, and you got quick character select too, which is always nice in this game. We'll do Taki, because Taki's really good with Raph, because he can just... I can't remember which one it is. I think... Let's see. I think it's her A's where it's the normal. Damn it. Oh, okay, so it's... Yeah. Damn, it's really hard to get that. Get out of here, bitch. Oh, I fucked up. It's probably easier to show you with B. Yeah, if you time it, you can actually get in there and do feints. Or you can go. I like Raph because he's all about that. It's like French rapier style. He's really quick. I mean, I can show you what it's like in a real fight. Well, the other thing is, like, when Raph uses his feints, it costs him more than freaking Reversal Edge. How's that fair, you know? Like, I just think they should make the battle more off of their 8-way run system. It's a good system. Encourage people to use it with moves that rely on 8-way run. They already have that. They could add more, you know? Give people different kinds of feints. Maybe if Taki does a feint properly, she does like a little fade, it gives her an extra frame. That'd be fucking sick. Like, and it would require you to get good and learn the game, you know? And let's still stick true to the Soul Cal formula, you know? Like, the reason why 5 failed is it wasn't because of the gameplay. It's because people were expecting this really great story, because Soul Cal always had great-ass cutscenes and good stories. And then all of a sudden we get this crap, you know? Everyone's like, what the hell is this garbage? And Nightmare was insanely overpowered, you know?
It's time for you to perish.
But in fairness to Soul Cal, they've always had problems with balancing specific characters. Sorry, I have dyslexia, so when I'm playing a game I can't talk. But, you know, Yoda was banned in 4 when he came out because you couldn't really do anything against Yoda. All you could do was low hits. So, you know. And then a lot of people didn't like the fact that there are Star Wars characters in it, but my rebuttal to that is it says a long time in a galaxy far, far away. We don't know what era it is in. Just because it's sci-fi doesn't mean it's the future. It could be the medieval times for all you know, but they have advanced technology. You know, we don't know. So that's why I think it fit. And then they go, well, lightsabers cut through metal and all this crap. Yeah, in that universe, in Star Wars' world, that is the law of that universe. So if you're in another universe, which Darth Vader, Yoda, the Apprentice went in, they entered into a realm of power that Soul Edge opened. You are now in a new world and you have to obey those laws of the universe. So Darth Vader's lightsaber no longer became a lightsaber. It was a sword, a fancy glowing sword. Because there's no lightsabers in Soul Calibur. You know, that's the law of that world, that realm. to further reiterate the point, Vader was... The Force is everywhere and makes up everything, but since there was no one that knew the Force, Vader and Apprentice and Yoda had limited Force. They couldn't use a whole lot of anything. So it still makes sense if you really think about it. That's, you know, because the Force is always explained in Star Wars as something you have to master and learn how to use. The Apprentice and Vader and Yoda were masters at it. So, of course, since they're masters, they could even use the Force in a place where the Force technically wasn't really believed in. You know, it exists. This Force makes up everything. Yoda says that in the movies. The Force is everything. But it also is nothing. It makes up the world. It is life itself. You can see past, present, and future with the Force, but you have to have a well-trained mind. So the fact that Yoda and Vader were unable to do that is because they knew and they were training for years. Yoda was like a Jedi literal master. Darth Vader was a Sith master. He knew how to do it too. But they both channeled the Force in different ways. Vader used the dark side of the Force, and Yoda used the light. The light takes a lot more time and energy to master, which again, they explain all the time in Star Wars. Go watch any Star Wars movie, they explain it consistently all the time. That's why people join the dark side, because the dark side is powerful. It's not to be underestimated.
How could this happen?
Try to have some dignity.
So it makes sense if you really think about it. People just didn't really think about it in that light, and I get it. I'm not shaming people who didn't like it. I'm just letting you know, look, it makes sense if you really think about it. But I do think Geralt was a good choice to put him as the guest character in 6. It fit. It was really cool to see Geralt. I think they did really great on the guest characters too. 2B is really true to her character. They had to tame her a little bit because she was a little too freaking fast, but she's still true to her character. And then Homeru was really cool. All of my friends who know the Samurai Shodown game said Homeru was true to his character, and they did a good job converting a 2D character into a 3D 8-way run fighter. That takes some serious skill. You know, so I'm not going to sit and talk shit to Bandai Namco on every little thing I don't like on the game, because there's still really good things in this game. You know, I'm not even paying attention. I'm just using muscle memory to fight, and I'm still having fun. And I'm talking about the history of SoulCal. You know, my 2 cents is I really don't know if SoulCal's gonna survive. I mean, if they're only selling 2.5 million copies, that's pretty much the same as 2. 2 sold about the same amount, and I think Bandai was looking for a little more than that, maybe not, but you know, if there is an interest and people want to play the game, they're probably just going to stick with I think they're going to keep the gameplay roughly the same. It makes no sense to invest a ton of money into a franchise that doesn't really generate Bandai a ton of income. Tekken's their money maker. You know, they're making like, this is like extra credit to them, you know, they don't have to do it to stay afloat, you know, but at the same time they could do it because they could tell investors, hey look, this SoulCal franchise, you don't need a lot of money to make money, so it could entice investors into getting a return off of $100,000, and $100,000 is not a lot to these investors. I mean, look at what games are costing nowadays to make. $200, $400 million, you know? So a couple of 100,000 is nothing to them, you know? They just got, you know, again, this game is a testament of what you can achieve with not a really big budget. They didn't have a huge budget for this game. This was a huge risk for them. You know, after the flop that was 5, Bandai didn't even want to attempt. But they had people who liked this game, that loved it, and was like, look, we think there's demand here, we think we can bring this back. And honestly, for what they did, for what the game is, for what it it is done, they did a darn good job. You know, I still think it's a pretty fun game. It has its flaws, but you know, right now there's just better things to play out there than SoCal. But SoCal's a really unique game because it really more focuses on your movements than your actual combos. Like Street Fighter 6 is fun. I like Street Fighter 6. I play it. It's a fun game. I enjoy the actual mechanics of the game. And you know, I kind of hope that maybe Bandai learns a little bit of lessons from how Capcom did it, and maybe they can implement their own version of some of those mechanics, because that would really work in SoCal, you know? It really would. Like, you can even have your soul gauge, you can use your soul gauge for some of this stuff, you know? Like, oh, I want to do a reverse ledge, it takes soul gauge, train your soul gauge to use it, so that way you can't abuse the crap out of it. It's either it needs to drain soul gauge or it needs to drain your guard. That was cool. I forgot that Taki can do that. Ah, fuck. I like that move. But yeah, I mean, that's just my 2 cents, and you know, there's a lot of speculation on what Bandai's doing with the characters, because they were supposed to do a Season 3. And if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on anything, you know, do your own research, or you can go to Mark Yoon. His channel's really good too, about SoCal, if you're curious. But, and you know, I'm late to the party, it's already been discussed a whole bunch of times, but I wanted to give my 2 cents. Because I do agree with Yoon on a lot of the things, and there are some things that, you know, this is like another just educated guess. They could have decided not to do Season 3 because they saw the sales of Season 2 pass, and were like, oh, well, it looks like we're on a downwards trend, it's not worth doing it if we're going to sell, you know, subtract 25% from their previous one, you know. Not worth it, we're just going to leave the game as it is, we're done, we're moving on to bigger and better pastures. I would love to believe that 7 is coming, but it's been 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 6 years since the release of 6, you know. Usually, just from my research, they base, if they're gonna make a sequel, usually after the first 3 months of sales. So, and I don't know if it's sold, you know, and that's 2.2 million in its lifetime, you know, so, and that's physical, mind you. Digital, we don't know. I mean, if they sold 2.5 million digital, then that's great. I would assume they'd make a sequel, but it's still just a risk. It's like, you know, why risk spending a huge amount of money on a franchise you're not sure is gonna sell as well as your other franchises, you know? Like, if I had to take a wild guess of what would be a safe bet for Bandai Namco for the next game, they could easily keep all the same characters and add Lizard Man, or Aeon, whatever you want to call it, right? Rock, and I can't remember the other character that was supposed to be in there. But they could do that, add those as the characters, right? Just have one as a guest character, keep all the same characters. And hell, they could even go as far as adding, not Huang, but I don't remember the guy's name, who was basically, he was in Soul Blade, but he Maxi replaced him, I just can't remember his name. That would be cool if they put him in as a guest character and had him maybe a different fighting style as a Maxi, but still had nunchucks, or maybe a weapon similar to nunchucks. I would also be great with the idea of having guest characters in the game again, but again, that's if Bandai doesn't have the budget, then I'm okay with no guest characters. I'm okay with Bandai putting guest characters in from their other franchises, because it doesn't cost them money to do that. You know, they could put in, you know, a Tekken character, which they did in 5, and they've also did in 2, because that deal fell through with Sony. So they could put in a Tekken character, they could put in, they could put in a lot of characters from their own franchises that would fit the build of SoCal. Just saying. So that would be fine if they did that. I would be okay with that, and I really think Bandai's gonna have to really be upfront with the people and be like, look, we don't have the money to do this. You guys kind of dictate if we decide to make a game or not. And based off of, these numbers, we're not gonna, we can't take that risk. If we see that the game's doing better when it releases, we might do it. We might do a season pass,
This is as far
Oh,
as you
shit.
go.
I would also like to see a little more character creation, because it pretty much copy-pasted 5's character creation and put it in 6. And then added a few past armor pieces, right? Which is fine. I mean, that was one of the best things about 5. I'm not hating on it. That was one of the most praised features in 5, so it makes sense that they're going to keep something that works, right? There's no, well, crap, I don't know what the hell happened there. There's no point in investing money in something that works. They don't need to do it, So, if they did that, maybe added a few pieces from 6, and then redid some other things, it really wouldn't cost them that much to add maybe an old costume from SoCal 2 or 3, as an alternative costume. I mean, they've already done it with 6. They added Setsuka's armor in 4, right? And I think they added Amy's in 4 as well, her costume. So they've done it before, so we know it probably doesn't cost them that much.
How could this happen?
Try to have some dignity.
And then maybe add some custom fighting styles. I would love to see that come back. It was a really cool feature that was in 3 that I would really love to see come back to the franchise. And I think just SoCal leaning on clean gameplay and character customization would be a good win. And they could just start with a handful of characters having alternate fighting styles in custom. Because imagine having to do custom fighting styles for all of those characters. You'd have to have all the different animations, different movesets. You'd have to pay all those people to make sure that works in the game, that it's not bugged, that it's coded correct. That would cost a lot of money. So I would like to see it, but maybe start with the main staples. We'll have Raph, we'll have Rock, we'll have, like one of each character, and then just say, hey, or, that might not even be good, because that could honestly upset the community, because they'd be like, what the fuck? It's, like, not complete, right? But, they could just, instead of doing that, just put in modes that have been in older games. Like, I believe everyone likes the Chronicles of the Sword mode that was in 3. I would be okay putting, if you put that back in. I really liked the Weapon Master mode. I thought that was a great mode. Taught you how to play the game and how to play offensively and defensively with different mini-games. I'm sure they still have animations and all that in their library that they could convert. It really just depends on what's cost efficient for Bandai to implement in the game. But me personally, minimum that I could see is not being super costly would be adding the new characters, adding the different armors, then maybe adding an arcade mode, a little more in-depth team battle arcades, and then Chronicles of the Sword would be really cool. The Creative Soul is a great idea though, I really liked that, but I mean, I don't think it needs to be in 7 as well. I don't think it was that well received, but it was at least a step in the right direction for trying to put in modes. And then, even just putting in a base story mode would be nice. Base story mode, Chronicles of the Sword, Weapon Master, team battles, and arcade, and I think that would be really good. And then, of course, your training. And then just solid mechanics. If they're going to keep the reversal edge, make it actually cost something, make it bounce so it's not just dependent on people abusing the crap out of it. If they could do that, I think they'd have a really solid hit on their hands. Also, more 8-way run moves. I really think they should lean into the movement system because it's a good system. You know, maybe have moves that have different ranges. If that's in the budget, that would be like minimum. I would say would be fine. And a lot of that stuff really shouldn't be cost them too much. I mean, they did recycle a lot of assets in 5 to put in 6. So I don't see why they couldn't do that again. Recycle some assets, you know, change, improve on some things. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna end it there for SoCal, and we're gonna play something else. But yeah, thanks for listening to my freaking rant.